Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jade, also known as the Stylebook here on YouTube and Instagram. We're back for another video. I hope you guys are super excited. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about my Kelly 25 that's sitting back here and kind of my experience with the box leather. I've received a lot of questions over the time that I've owned this bag because people are really curious about the wear and tear of box leather, what are the things you have to be careful with, and if it's worth purchasing. So today I'm kind of here to go over my experience with the bag so far, do some typical stuff I do with you guys. I do some measurements. Hopefully this would help anyone that's considering box leather. So as context, I've owned this bag for nearly a year and a half, 2 years now. It's been quite a bit since I've purchased this one, and during the time I've owned it, the bag hasn't really had any problem. Personally, I'm quite careful with my belongings. Maybe that's part of the reason why it managed to stay in fairly good conditions, but in general I don't really find it a difficult bag to use. In fact, I use it a lot. I can show you guys quickly. You can see box leather is very shiny, and from what you can see, there is no real wear and tear on the back so far. I will explain to you guys how I keep the bag in such good condition, but in general, box leather is known to be quite delicate. I know a lot of people stay away from it because of that, but personally, I haven't had a problem with it. And from owning it for a couple of years, I've used it a ton. It's not really a bag that I baby that much, but I'm just more, let's say, mindful when I use it in comparison to Kelly 25 in Epson, a box leather that does require a little bit more attention, I guess. So before I dive more into the details about how to care for your box leather and what are the key characteristics of the bag of the specific leather, I just wanted to quickly go over the measurements of the bag with you guys. So I did do a more in-depth video on the Kelly measurements and everything, so I'll link it up there for you guys to take a look at, but we'll just do some simple measurements. Starting off with the width of the bag. Being a Kelly 25, the measurement is about 25 centimeters. They're sometimes a little bit off, but you can see it's approximately 25 centimeters. So the width of the bag, I don't know if you guys can see, it's approximately 9.5 centimeters. The bag kind of sits pretty comfortable crossbody or on one shoulder, so that's something I really enjoy. Let's do the height, 18.5. And then a lot of people are always curious about the handle drop. I will measure for you guys. So just the drop, 8.59 centimeters. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'll do a better measurement for you guys. The drop on the Kellys are a little bit bigger than on the Birkins, so I have no trouble putting my whole arm through it. Usually quick of arm, most people will find it pretty comfortable. I wanted to show you guys also what kind of stuff fits in the Kelly 25. Again, I'm not gonna go super in depth, I'm just gonna go over this very quickly, but I have put in the stuff that I usually take with me on a day-to-day basis, and there's still plenty of room left in the bag. Do you see how empty this is? So first thing first, tissue. I have my car holder slash door key. It's like a really old one from Louis Vuitton and just has everything. And then next I have a little pouch I use as my jewelry holder. I've engraved it with a little J&J. I have no clue if you guys can see it. Basically it's a special order pouch from Hermès, and it's in swift leather and it's worn really well despite being swift leather. I keep this around in case I need to put my jewelry away. I have my AirPods, which you guys have seen so many times now because I love my AirPods. So this is a cuticle oil that I really like to keep, and then I have a lip balm. This one works really well, so I take this with me literally everywhere. On the topic of cuticle oil, I wanted to show you guys my nails. Essentially, my nail artist and I decided to put my cat on my nail, and she's done such an excellent job, so I have to show you guys. Basically, this is my two babies. On this side, here is Lucy, and then that's Puma. So I decided to paint the cats. The rest of the nail is pretty typical of what I like to do. So yeah, sidetracked. Back onto the topic of the handbag. So that's pretty much everything I keep in my bag. I really don't take that much with me. I've never found the size of the Kelly 25 being an issue. Of course, the mini Kellys are a little bit more smaller than that, but I can still live with it. So this is my Chinese phone, and I have my normal iPhone, and basically a lot of time when I'm traveling I would have to take both. So both of these fits in my bag, no problem. You can still fit like sunglasses, wallet, basically anything you want. In the Kelly 25 it will probably fit. And this one specifically is about the size of the iPhone Pro Max. That's everything that goes into this cutie. But essentially, very practical bag. I've had no issue with it over the past year and a half, 2 years that I've owned it. And you guys can see it's still in immaculate condition. There is essentially no scratches on it despite how much I've used it. Only part that does get scratched for me is around here, because I like to put my wrist to it, and I hold it like this as well a lot. And when I'm wearing like sharp rings, like this is the one from Cartier that I really like to wear, but this specific ring, I don't think you guys can see it because it's the just include ring. It's really sharp at the edge, so the number of times that I've worn this ring and it's destroyed my sweaters and bags, it's kind of insane. But anyway, so with jewelries, you do need to be careful because box leather scratch easily. Epson is even worse. If you scratch in Epson leather, it can all be repaired. At least with box leather, Hermès can repair them. So that's basically the basics I want to go over with you guys. The bag does also come with a clochette, which I don't ever use. I have it here. This is basically what it looks like. Knowing that I have a box leather bag, this is definitely gonna scratch it, so I don't ever use it, so it kind of just stays in this little pouch. So now moving on to talk more about box leather specifically. What are some things to consider if you're thinking of getting a bag in this specific type of leather, and kind of to help you guys decide whether or not this is the right one for you, and what are my general recommendations in case you want to get one and you want to keep it in the best condition possible. So firstly, box leather is a heritage leather from the Maison, so it's definitely one of those unique and very luxurious leather that Hermès carry. I wanted a black Kelly, and that's why I approached my essay about this. And initially I thought I would prefer something in Epson, but black on Epson is just quite dull in my opinion. That's just like a personal thing. I feel like Hermès does color so well that it's almost a bit of a shame to get a black bag on Epson. And so when I went to visit my essay, and he at the time offered me 2 bags. One is this Kelly 25 box leather, and then the other one was a Kelly 28 Epson black, also plated in hardware, so I could get a comparison between the two. And ultimately the box leather is so astonishingly beautiful that I could not resist, so I purchased this bag in the end. It's priced a little bit above traditional Epson leather. I think it's also a little bit higher than Madame leather. But if you were to choose between these three, if we're looking at Epson, Madame, I guess Chev, and box leather, I would say go with everything except for Epson, because Epson with black just really isn't that luxurious. This is just completely a personal biased opinion. Of course, if you love Epson and black, that's the way to go. But if you're like me and you're kind of a collector, you like to have pieces that are more unique, I would say the other options are a bit better. So in terms of the stuff that you have to be careful with when it comes to box leather, one of the biggest things is water. Like, box leather is super delicate and you cannot use it in the rain, like absolutely cannot use it in the rain. Scratches will fade over time, but any damage caused by water, basically the leather would develop a blister, and then it's not repairable by Hermès or anybody that I am aware of. So definitely be careful of water, ring, any liquid that can get on this bag, because that's the one thing that's definitely going to destroy it. The second thing is oil. So oil tends to leave a stain on the box leather. It's not as bad as water, because water develop a blister on the bag, whereas oil just kind of leaves an oil stain that, depending on where it's coming from, it could or could not be removed. Scratches, like I said before, they do fade with time, but of course you have to be careful with really sharp objects. So usually when I'm wearing my box leather bag, I tend to avoid like sharp jewelries, like the ring that I'm wearing right now, or anything else that I think could really scratch the bag, or I try to wear them on the other hand. So because I carry my bag with my right, I will put anything sharp jewelry that I consider to be dangerous on the opposite hand. Other than that, you are honestly good to go. So these are the kind of things I've been conscious of since owning this bag, and I've had no issue with, I guess, upkeeping the good condition of the handbag. I know that the new box leather that comes directly from the boutique is a little bit more delicate than the vintage box leather, so the process they treat them is a little bit different, and I think for anyone on the pre-loved market looking for more vintage box leather, maybe some of the things I've mentioned don't apply to you, but for anyone looking for a new box leather bag from boutique or just from the recent years, these things are really important to keep in mind. So all in all, would I recommend the box leather from Hermès? I mean, definitely. I am so in love. I even thought of getting another Mini Kelly in black box leather just because of how much I adore it. But frankly speaking, I am very happy with the Kelly 25 I have. I've used this bag so much to the point that my essay asked me, do you not have any other bags? I mean, he knows, so obviously he was joking, but that just goes to show how much I adore this bag. It's such a cool, chic handbag to own, and honestly one of the most unique and luxurious leather out there. For anyone that's thinking of adding a box leather from Hermès, I would recommend to stick to the smaller bags, maybe a Mini Kelly, maybe a Kelly 25. I wouldn't even recommend a Birkin 25 because you kind of have to handle it a lot and it tends to get scratched if you are carrying it around in your hands all day. Whereas the Mini Kelly and Kelly 25, you can kind of just attach it to your body and forget about it. So those are definitely the ones I would recommend if you're thinking about box leather. I hope that this video has been helpful to anyone that's considering adding a bag in this leather. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you guys next time. Bye.